Adam, can you talk a little bit on how we got here? You know, the previous panel talked a little bit about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what has kind of led to the growth of this strategy, or whatever we're going to call it, over the last couple of years.
Yeah, like I think the PC answer is like low interest rates, right? It's nobody's fault, but low interest. That's kind of bullshit, right? The answer is we got here because of all of us, right? Except my investors. You guys are perfect. Never change. But it's all of us. We're all here because we're super greedy, right? We're not here to like change the world. We're here to make as much money as we can and get the fuck out and do our fun stuff. So we did this, right? The group of people, hedge funds, like evil hedge funds. Yeah, like they're low interest rate environment, good beta, no defaults, nothing to do. If there's nothing to eat, what are you going to do? You're going to become accountable. Someone's going to become accountable. Now, the worst guy first, and we're going to be like, gross, and then we're going to be like, how's it taste? Like, yeah, I want to live also. So evil hedge funds started it, right? But then there's plenty of sort of these beta fish out there, right? The market has become, hedge funds are sub 4% of the credit market. So there's all these beta guys who, you know, they're very AUM driven, like CLOs and structured products and the ETF arbors. And the vast majority of the credit market today are people who just are like traffic cops, right? Like inflows, buy everything, outflows, sell everything. And so those funds, they're not doing credit. I mean, they say they do credit work, but they really don't, right? They just buy and sell. So those guys are just riding the beta market, and it's going very well for them, but they're not equipped to handle stressed credit. Like, they're not reading the documents, and when they have a lot of inflows, like we saw happen in the CLO market, their most important thing is new issue relationships, not documents. They're like, what are documents? Just get as much as you can. We need to fill up the CLO so I can launch my next one. So that group sucks, and they led to this. And then you've got bankruptcy lawyers and financial advisors who are like, oh my God, there's no defaults. Let's cause trouble. Like, how do we add value? And they're like, oh, somebody get the document and figure out how to arbit, and we can present it to somebody, and so we can help screw somebody over. We can get a fee out of that. So those guys jumped on the sort of bandwagon. And then there's the PE, mostly sponsored companies who are like, well, economically, I would make more money by screwing my debt, so I'll do that. Now, what's amazing is like it's the same guys who are like, we've made such good strides as a community on the whole in DEI and ESG and value invest to some extent, and I'm really proud of that for the financial universe. But somehow being a deadbeat is not one of those values. Like, I could borrow $20 from Gatto for lunch and be like, you have no doc, you're fucked. Like, I'm not paying you back. I could do that. Somehow that's like not a valued thing. But
I want to be clear.
This behavior.
If I lent you $20, there's going to be docs. But go ahead.
$20 a day isn't going to cut it with this inflation. But still, there's no like moral turpitude with like just telling people I'm going to give you a first lien loan and then I'm going to take it away from you. There's no like they're like that's somehow become just totally acceptable behavior. So all the financial participants are guilty of sort of creating this cycle of violence.